Okay, in this problem we want to find the limit as x approaches 2 of x minus 2 over the difference of the two radicals, square root of x and square root of 4 minus x. Now if you attempt to take the limit right away by plugging in 2 for x there, there, and there, you're going to get 0 divided by square root of 2 minus square root of 2 is also 0. Now 0 over 0 is indeterminate, so that means we have to do a little bit of work in order to figure out what this limit is before we can plug in 2 to actually take the limit. Now often if you have a sum or a difference of two radicals, a technique that will work is to multiply the expression by the square root, by the conjugate of those radicals, which would be the square root of the first radical. And then what you do is you change the sign in between the two terms. So it'd be square root of x plus square root of 4 minus x. So that minus gets changed to a plus. Now anything we multiply, we have to multiply by it over itself, so that we're really just multiplying by a fancy form of 1, so we're not really changing anything. Now I'm going to add in parentheses everywhere here. Okay, now the secret is to FOIL this time the denominator in this problem, because that's the one that we multiply by the conjugate of. But we are not going to FOIL the numerator because that would make the problem impossible to solve in the next step. So the numerator I'm just going to rewrite as the product of x minus 2 and the difference of the two radicals, or sum of the two radicals. Now the denominator we're going to FOIL. Root x times root x is x. Then my outside term is root x times root 4 minus x, but my inside term is negative root x times root 4 minus x. So the outer and the inner terms cancel, which is really the whole point of multiplying by the conjugate. And then for the last term we have negative radical 4 minus x times positive radical 4 minus x is going to be negative. Now the radicals cancel, so the negative of 4 minus x. Careful with your parentheses there. Now let's keep simplifying. We don't want to mess with the numerator just yet, so we'll leave it factored still. With the denominator, let's go ahead and distribute that negative and cancel anything that we can. So in the denominator we'll have x minus 4 plus x. When we distribute that negative, well, x plus x is 2x, so let's keep going here. So in the denominator we have 2x minus 4. Now what we would like to do is be able to cancel one of the factors of the numerator with part of the denominator, all or part of the denominator, so that we can take the limit by plugging in 2. Now we're still at a point where if we plug in 2, this factor is 0 and the denominator is 0 as well, so we'll still get 0 over 0. However, we can factor the denominator and make it like the first factor of the numerator. All we have to do is factor a 2 out of the denominator, and it will become 2 times x minus 2. And everything is factored in the numerator and denominator, and we have the same factor on top and bottom, so now we're allowed to cancel. And we ought to be able to take the limit now by plugging in 2 for x there and there. Let's give that a try. And now that we're going to take the limit, we no longer write lim as x approaches 2. So we will get square root of 2 plus the square root of 4 minus 2. That's the 2 that I plugged in for x there and there. Let's see, square root of 4 minus 2 is root 2. So we have root 2 plus root 2, or we could write that as 2 times root 2 as our final answer for that limit.